24-25 budget. Sorry.
The budget unfortunately looks a lot like last year and how this year is ending, in the red. A lot, the upcoming budget is a lot to do with ESSER going away and the general fund to pick up other things, as well as the new magnet school, coming on board. So we'll be looking and meeting to look at different programs and different, the positions, making sure that our positions are with the MFP, that we're not having extra teachers at schools, and just looking for ways to fine tune it, because we can't continue. I mean, we have a fund balance to offset it, but we obviously can't continue to operate. And the largest is payroll. I mean, that's where our biggest numbers come from. And benefits.
Is it gonna be about the same amount like last year?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at.
Any discussion? All right, let's
Oh,
go.
I got a question.
Yes,
So like when, you had the ESSER money, like for buses and stuff, we had put aside money for buses already, so what happened to that money?
Well, we haven't, I mean, I did not put buses in this year's budget because it was already in the red. So we need to have an evaluation and look at how many buses we bought with ESSER and see how old our oldest bus, and see if we're at a point that is dire need to buy some this year, or if it's something we can put off a year. Because we bought more with ESSER than we would have normally bought in a normal year. So we should be okay as far as rotating them.
So who would know how many buses we bought? Like, so we didn't buy them last year.
Yeah, we did. We bought some in 23, 20. We bought some in 22, 23, and 23, 24. We bought 15 altogether, and we would have only bought 10 had we funded it from general fund, because we were doing 5 a year. So we have 5 more than what we would have.
And one of the things we need to start to consider is, as we purchase buses, is moving to buses that are already equipped with air conditioning, because I'm sure that you're aware of the extreme heat outside. So that's something that we may need to look at in the very near future, is when we start to purchase, just start to purchase them with the AC already equipped, so that as we phase out buses, we'll use those older buses only for an emergency purpose, but start to purchase buses that are already equipped with air conditioning. It may cost us more in the long run, but I think that is something that I think the public as well as the drivers are gonna be, happy about. So, because the heat is, I think the index is 110 today, so that's extremely hot. So,
That's why I'm a proponent of pushing school back.
Yeah. Is there a law that you have to, buy next year, the buses, air conditioning?
No, I don't think the law is actually put into place yet.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
did pass.
Oh, okay.
They don't have the funds.
The state doesn't have to pay for it.
They have the funds to give that all come out.
Any other questions? All right, let's vote. Motion passed. Item 2D, consider and/or recommend action with regard to annual SMETA contribution. Ms. Russo.
This is the annual contribution that we give to SMETA. It's been the same amount, definitely 10 plus years for sure. It's just whether or not you want to continue to support them.
Motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Coche, second by Mr. Coche. Any discussion? Let's vote.
What does it actually help us do?
Well, tax base,
Different business, develop businesses.
that's where your tax base comes in. They go out and promote.
They have an industrial parks.
Oh, yeah, I know that part. Yeah, okay,
That's what they do. They
That's their job.
entice business to come.
okay.
They go try to close it.
Motion passed.
You get several.
Item 2E, consider and/or recommend action with regard to acceptance of the lowest quote or bidder on the various projects to be presented at the meeting. Mr. Chevalier.
Mr. Chevalier, if you don't have the copies, I'll go through them. So there were 4 projects that we received bids and quotes on, since the packets went out, so I'll just go through them one by one. The first one is the Tesh Elementary School restroom and storage building. That one actually came in over budget by a pretty significant amount, so first the board would have to decide if they're willing to increase the budget, and if not, then they would all be rejected.
Reject all bids, right?
So if y'all want to discuss
Just to
that.
kind of give you a heads up, it was budgeted for 400,000, it went over by 200,000.
I see that.
And Mr. Chevalier has a couple of good ideas, probably to reject that bid and come back and look at, because what they were trying to, what the architect did, he wanted to put a storage building and restroom right in between right behind the office area and the gym. And then also put another one because of firewalls, he wanted to put another one, where the old storage building was at. So it just escalated the cost a little bit too much, so Mr. Chevalier, came up with some good ideas, and he thinks that it's probably better just to go back to the drawing and do a little bit better.
So table this one,
Reject.
You have to reject it.
Reject.
one at a time?
You can do one at a time, you have to do them.
I say let's do one at a time.
Yeah.
So let's go with this
The
first.
motion to
Let's vote
reject
on reject or keep.
the Tesh Elementary School restroom.
Somebody needs to
I
make
make
a
a
motion,
motion to reject,
reject all the bids.
All of it. And
and
I'll second.
No, on the first project.
Yeah, that's-
Yes.
Yeah, all
On the
bids in that
Tesh.
project.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Pucci to reject the bid for the elementary school restroom and storage building.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Abear. Let's vote. Motion passed.
And the next two, if y'all don't mind, we'll do together because it's two separate projects, but Christie was able to secure a grant for upgrading security. So this is the quotes for the Cecilia Junior High security upgrade and CCRC security upgrade. Both are within the budget, and they're both being funded by a grant. So if you would, we could accept those together, and it's ARL was the low quoter on those two.
Move to accept.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Pucci. Accept.
I had a question. What about that other grant that she wrote for the fence and all of that?
Oh, I'm not sure.
That would all be under that, that was.
It's all under, yeah, so this is the first two projects that we're doing under that grant. I'm not 100% sure what the other projects are, but I know when I looked at the budget and Ally and some of the line items said fencing, so I do believe she has that.
This is probably the second part of it. The first part was the metal detectors.
Oh, okay, but I thought it was like fencing too, and,
Yeah, but those are things to come. So, the first thing we initially did was we were able to get the metal detectors, and then this is the second phase, because it's only, I think these are the last two schools that needed the secure entry points, because every other school already had the secure entry points. And then we're moving to the fencing, that part of the fencing, and those other projects that deal with security as part of that grant.
so is that gonna be put in the school this year?
I don't quote me on that. I don't know if their fencing is gonna be, these are gonna be, as soon as we approve them, they'll get started on them, but I don't.
They're like the metal detectors and stuff.
Oh, yeah, those are, yeah, Mr. Bowman has sent something out in reference to the use of the metal detectors at those schools that have the metal detectors.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Shaw?
We have one more project that, did y'all vote, did they vote on that? Did y'all vote on those two? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
it passed.
there's one more project, and that is the limestone parking lot at the virtual center. And the low quote on that one was $63,000, which is also within budget, and that is MMJ Properties.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Usually. Second by Mr. Abear. Let's vote. Motion passed. And item 2F, general fund monthly budget to actual meeting comparison.
I didn't actually hand out a second one because on the budget forms that y'all approved did have what I typically present to y'all every month. So that item's covered and it doesn't need any action.
Okay. Mr. Abear, you said you had a question?
Oh, yes, just Hey, Ms. Casey, when I look at the weekly accounts payable, we had some, in our regular package, we have travel expenses. There was some travel expenses that I was questioning. Well, I figure it's travel expenses. Are we gonna update this in our packet and everything? Because I'm
Yeah.
sure it was contained in the board notes, what I was looking at.
Yes, so it may have been that by the time, when the packets were mailed out, it may have been processed before or after, so we
Okay.
catch those the following month.
Because I was wondering, when I saw it on the weekly report,
Oh, yeah,
I started, the one that, for the accounts payable and everything, because I like to look at all that to see where our expenses are going. And I saw that, and I saw the dollar amounts, and I just want to make sure that when I see it in the packet, if it coincides, because I thought we had put a limit on more travel years ago. That's just my opinion. We'd have to probably
I
research.
can look at it.
I want to say it was $1,600 for a trip when we go to the conventions and everything.
I'll look, Ms. I know it hasn't been since I've been here, but it doesn't necessarily mean
Okay.
that there's not.
That was all I wanted.
But I'll research that for you. And yes, it should be in your board packet next month.
Thank you.
Have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Fortes, second by Mr. Fortes.
Ready to rock and roll? Okay. With regular board, second, please come to order. Mr. Wilson, please lead us in the prayer pledge.
Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, please guide us and bless our endeavors today. Please help guide our decisions and let them be in the best interest of our students and staff. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Any announcements, acclamations?
Yes, Mr. President, we have Mr. Landon Boudreaux with Slimco, who's gonna announce the Outstanding Youth Awards.
All right, good evening, board. Thank you all for allowing us to come. My name is Landon Boudreaux. I do governmental affairs for Slimco. So every year, Slimco gives out outstanding youth awards to schools around the parish that use Slimco electricity. And how we select these winners is by the administration and faculties of the respective schools picking out one girl and one boy that are judged on their classwork, ability to get along well with others, respect for others' property, and involvement in community activities. So these awards were presented at the school's award day programs, and we're proud to announce them here tonight. So from Parks Middle, we have Trevor Monte and Jaden Nugent. St. Martinville Primary, we have Chase Antoine and Kinsley Savoie. St. Martinville Junior High, we have Casey Etienne and Canera Marshall. And from Tesh Elementary, we have Luke Hardy and Gemma Thompson. So we thank y'all for allowing us to come tonight. We congratulate the winners on their hard work, and of course, wish y'all good luck on the upcoming school year. And if Slimco can do anything for you guys, please let us know. Thank y'all.
All right, next, Southern Scripts Employee Motion.
Yes, Mr. President, this month we recognize the ELC custodians, and I know that they couldn't be here tonight because they do have their open house tonight. It was Mr. Lincoln Wiltz, Alan Porter, and Ms. Pernella Gilliam. When we conducted the walkthrough that we did a couple of weeks ago, a few board members were there. I was just amazed at the work that they did in such a short amount of time. And they were working very hard as we were walking through, probably disturbing them as they were working. So I just felt there was a need to commend them for the work that they did to get ELC ready, given that we're opening the magnet school. So I wanted to recognize the three of them for the hard work that they did throughout this time. So that's the Southern Scripts employees.
Okay, next is any additions or deletions to the agenda? Yes, sir.
Mr. Fogarty, I asked Mr. Fred to put item 7C on the agenda for discussion, and we're not quite ready yet. So there's not any need to discuss it yet.
7C.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you want to take that off?
If the board's okay with it.
Any objection to taking C off? Okay. Anything else? Mr. Fred, how about item E?
No, we've discussed item E and we should be,
Okay,
we've had a discussion.
no problem. There are no other additions or deletions. Any items to be removed from the consent agenda to be discussed later? Okay, at this time, I will take a motion to accept the consent agenda items.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Steve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Doolittle. All right. Let's vote. Motion passes. Okay, Finance Committee recommendations. Do I have a motion to accept the Finance Committee recommendation? Mr. Poche. And do I have a second? Second one, Mr. Clay. All right, let's vote on that. Motion passes. New business. Let's see, we have a public hearing. We're opening up the public hearing for the budget.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion on that?
You ready to budget? You need some additional funds in your area, that's time.
We have a motion to close.
Motion.
You
Moved by Mr. Abear to close, second by Mr. Steve. All right, let's vote on that. We need to vote on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, motion passed. Okay, item B, consider and approve Finance Committee recommendation for adoption of budget for general and special revenue funds for the year ending June 30th, 2025. Bruce Office.
That's just the formal adoption of the budget for state requirements.
Okay, do you have a motion? Motion by Mr. Steve, second by Mr. Abear. Let's vote. Motion passes. Item C, consider and approve Head Start Policy Council recommendations, new hires, 2024-25 program goals and objectives. Ms. Angel?
These were part of our July policy council meeting. We had a group of new hires and we updated our program goals to have specific measurable objectives. And they're in your packets.
All right, you have a motion? Motion. Motion by Mr. Poche.
Okay.
Second by Mr. Clay. Vote. Motion passes. All right, board members' requests. Item A, consider and approve the use and pay for resource officers at extracurricular events. Mr. Abear?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Forte. It was brought to my attention, I remember we did approve that we gave the resource officers, they were making $35 an hour last year. If y'all remember when, they came, was it last month or the month before? Month before. It went from $35 to $40. What I wasn't aware is that they want to make sure that we give them a 4-hour minimum. I think we need to go back and revisit that because some of these events might not take 4 hours. Plus, what I'd like staff to also do is possibly look at other alternatives because, you know, I mean, some of these events, let's say I'm gonna just use baseball or volleyball, whatever, they can't afford these resource officers at they might not make $160 on their gate, you know, so we need to look at other ways to do it, possibly, you know, come up, brainstorm something, I don't know what, but.
And some of the administrators and I, especially the high school, have talked about in some instances, especially given like a baseball or even a volleyball game, when it's not gonna be that many people, that not necessarily a need for two officers there, because again, they may not even make that at the gate. So we've kind of talked about making a decision just based on, you know, the anticipation of what type of crowd they're gonna have and whether or not they know they're gonna be a lot of people. The administrators are always at the games, so we wanna give them the leeway to be able to decide, hey, yes, a game, I use Brobridge St. Marvel as an example, Brobridge Cecilia. You know, games like that, we're gonna have a lot of people, you may wanna have that type of security there. But if you have a team who may have a small fan base that's coming in, you may not necessarily need to get two officers, especially at 4 hours max. And the school may not be able.
Yeah, I think we need to go back and readjust that 4-hour deal with them.
And it's 2 officers too.
Yeah, and that's true, so I mean.
Correct.
That's, That's a good pop right there. That's $320 and they're not gonna make it at those games. So the other thing is, we have telephones nowadays, you know, and not trying to knock anybody, but some of the offices, I could probably do a better job, and I'm broken down. Yeah, they don't have phones. I agree. I don't have phones. So, I mean, and I'm not trying to be too critical, but it is what it is. And the other thing is, for the high school football games, nothing more aggravates me than when I can see they're all right here, huddling up, even before the game. They should, when you go to other parishes, they're parking cars. You know, they're telling people, you need to park right here. If not, it's a complete cluster, you know? So those items, if y'all could address it, and I'll be finished with that. Thank you.
All right. Item B, discussion of parish-wide projects. Repeat that.
Oh, okay. And next, Mr. John, about the projects that was going on. I don't see, St. Martinville Junior High on here. I see you have some check marks. That's those that have been done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you say like S&P lighting or magnet, where is that? Like, what area? Just
They have magnets, so I'm assuming it's for the magnet thing.
just that A building? Okay, because, well, I discussed that on the board. Let's see. So what do you have at, St. Martinville Junior High? 'Cause I didn't see it on here.
From January, this was given to Mr. Duracell and Mr. Wentz. These are all of the projects that was supposed to be completed in the next couple of weeks. St. Martinville Junior High did not have anything scheduled or any projects to be completed.
Oh, okay, because I know, we had talked about the fence, in front of the school and stuff in storage. And then I think the water was staying in the back of the school and it was making snakes go into the school. So we really need to address that if possible. Let's see. The nature trail fence and down tree removal at St. Martinville High School.
Do we still use the nature trail?
No, I think the city had really wanted the nature trail, so I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
Aren't y'all landlocked and y'all need land? I mean, I don't know what the specifics are on that. I mean, I don't know what type of agreement we have, but I mean, I'm just curious to know what we're gonna do.
I had some discussions with Ms. Kenya Cruz, who worked for the city of St. Martinville, and we were able to work together to write a grant in reference to the revitalization of them. But I don't know where that's at in the process because it was just
She's no
something.
longer with the city.
Yeah, well, I think she had submitted the information, but I don't know where it was at, so.
Okay. So you gonna put a new fence or
Where
at by the nature trail?
Yes, that's on there. Eventually I'll get to it.
No, I was just asking, does it go all the way down, then you're gonna cut the trees, that's coming through the fence? Because we had cut it once already and stuff. Let's see, what else? The volleyball, floor for the girls, I think had needed something over there. I think she might have talked to you about it already.
No, ma'am.
No, she didn't. Something about she needed some lines for the games and stuff.
Forest routine.
Huh?
The repaint.
That's the whole court got repainted.
Oh, you did it already? Okay. Okay, let's see. I think that's all. Oh, at, ELC, we have a problem with the water staying on the driveway. And, it stays there for a long period of time. So I think Mr. Adam had did that work. Because we had it by the tree, he fixed that one, but he didn't fix the driveway.
They probably couldn't do that because you were too busy making them go elsewhere.
No, not at all.
I'm just calling it like it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we only have so many.
I know,
So, okay.
I know you
Is
see
that all?
our grass up.
Anything else, Ms. Vita?
That what?
I could have made a list long like the world.
I
Thank you,
know, huh?
Being patient.
Oh,
Ms. Vital, anything else?
yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Close
You
my
need
door,
to
get
leave
the
his
bed,
staff
huh?
alone.
What's that?
You need his staff alone and let them do their work.
I do,
On
I do.
up.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Vital, anything else on the topic?
No, that's all.
Okay, next is the discussion of superintendent's evaluation, Ms. Vital.
You missed the
Okay,
next one.
bus routes.
No, we took that one off.
No, seven
No,
C.
seven C.
Oh, you said seven, C, okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, well, let's go to C, discussion of bus routes, Ms. Vital.
Okay, I think Mr. Wills talked to me about it. He said something about you're gonna wait to,
Yeah, what we had planned to do, based on board approval and recommendation, was to redo all of the routes. So in light of the judge's ruling of the zone line changes 2 weeks prior to the start of school, what we decided to do was focus on those zone line changes and how that would impact transportation, as well as all of the magnet school students that we had that are coming from the Cecilia, Breaux Bridge, and Parks area. So we have approximately 70 maybe students that need to be transported from the Cecilia, Breaux Bridge, and Parks area to the magnet school. So concentrating on that, as well as the additional M2M students that we have, was our focus. So what we're going to do is refine the route changes, and then we can implement that at a later date. But our focus was to be in those 3 primary areas. So it's something that Mr. John and staff have pretty much finalized, but just to focus and make sure that we got those 3 facets of transportation done, we said we'd hold off on making a parish-wide change to the zone, the routes.
The zone change, it's not that many kids in that, you only talking, like, say, in the Cecilia, Burbridge area, change that. It's only like maybe about 4 or 5 kids. We don't want no until the first day or second day of school.
Right.
So, don't miss this.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Vital?
yeah, they wanted to know if we could put some of the buses with air conditions now, and also, the little card swipes. Some of them, they're on the main highway, and it's kind of hard, it's dangerous, they said, to swipe those cards.
The buses,
Huh?
you want to put the air conditioning in the buses, so we're gonna start in the Burbridge area,
It
Cecilia.
don't matter where we start, I'm just saying, they're just saying, I'm just, voicing what they asked me.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ms. Vito, in reference to the car swipe, the minute the kid gets on, they literally just are walking in and swiping as they get on. So if the bus is at a stop, it's a very quick process. It's not like the bus is gonna be on the main highway for an extended amount of time. The kid is just walking by and
It's,
just,
it's a matter of 3 seconds per kid.
correct.
That's it. If they have their card.
One of
They
the
just said
issues,
some of them have a lot of kids and they gotta wait while the bus is on the highway.
one of the issues we had, and just to bring to your attention, is we had one bus driver who had a blank card. And they may have been picking up 10 kids, but they swiped the card 30 times to make it appear as though their bus was full. So that's one of the issues with what you recommended with this route changing, so that we can clean that up, because we had bus drivers who were, it took them 15 minutes to do their route, and from that point, they were done, but were pretending that they had a bus load of kids, so.
So can we do it after, like, when they get off the bus, instead of getting on the bus?
Well,
Does
we
it
want to
matter?
make sure, for safety reasons and for parent, just in case of an emergency, you want to make sure that they scan on and then they scan off.
Oh, okay.
Fred, you talk about the bus route, that's the smart area. I've been here 32 years. I ain't never had a problem with bus route. I'm not gonna change something I had a problem with, never had a problem with. Never had, but maybe one call for bus. So, my route over here, Breaux Bridge to C area must be perfect.
But,
No, it's
Well,
not.
I'm serious.
I think she put it on there wrong. It's just to discuss transportation.
Yeah.
That's all it
It's-
was.
I don't have a problem with my route.
Well, no, they was just asking, like, they wanted to know when the air conditioners would come, and they had concerns about the swipe cards.
Who's they?
That's, the bus drivers.
Okay, anything else on
That's
bus
what it
routes?
is. I'm just looking at what they
Ms.
asked.
Vital, anything else on bus routes?
No.
Okay, let's go to the next topic. Discussion on, next item is to discuss superintendent's evaluation, Ms. Vital.
Oh, this time to evaluate it. We have to That's our policy, so I just put it on there.
Okay.
But-
So we
I'm
can
gonna be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I've been here, I'm out of evaluated superintendent twice. Now, if you wanna evaluate them, evaluate them.
Uh-huh.
I see superintendents come here with good evaluation, get terminated.
Uh-huh.
I see some with bad evaluation, stay forever. So I think it's a, you can evaluate. I had a lot of members evaluate.
It's up to y'all.
I evaluate two, a superintendent,
Y'all have
I
to do it
call them up, tell them what I gotta tell them. Hey, and that's it.
I agree.
We evaluate principals, so, I mean, that's our
Of course, you
policy.
got to.
That's our policy.
But you're right.
Superintendent is
Miss
responsible.
Miss Wendy has copies of the evaluation.
Uh-huh.
You're free to take the evaluation, you can fill it out,
Yeah,
and when you're done, you're welcome to give it back to Miss Wendy, you can give it to me, and then once we have all of them, we can have a discussion in executive session in reference to the evaluation, so I'm open to whatever you want to do.
uh-huh. So, do y'all feel we need to evaluate him, or y'all just wanna, rehire him now?
I'm like Richard, if I have a problem with him, and I've done this with every superintendent, most of the time,
Face to face.
I
Well,
give him
I
a call and I
think,
tell him.
for me, I think he's doing an excellent job. He came into a strenuous job, and I could see his evaluation right then and there, what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
And, what you talking about, a written evaluation?
No, I'm just saying, that's our board
She
policy
can do it.
to do one.
There's nothing wrong with
Or
that.
do y'all, or can we just rehire him now, like we did for Al?
Just do the evaluation.
Well,
I'm evaluating him right now.
Do your evaluation.
If you wanna do it written, why don't you take it? We did evaluate that.
uh-huh,
So you don't have to. This contract is not coming up for another year, right?
no, but he's doing such a good job, like the Sandra said, we can,
This year.
He's doing
right,
it.
Rich?
Doing a
He's
great
doing,
job.
he's doing a great job, you can evaluate him now, we can evaluate him after,
It's a
like
good
we
job
did.
to have the evaluation. It's a good,
Yeah.
good practice to have.
Why don't we do this? For the next meeting, have Wendy hand out an evaluation to each board member,
That's right.
and then we turn it
Like
in.
they've been
Well,
doing it.
you
They
can
hand
have
them out.
them, you can have them today and
They
then
hand them out.
turn them in at the next board.
One or two board members turn them in. So, well, I'm just saying, that's the best way, hand them out to everybody. If you got a
Well,
problem.
I think it was 1 year, Wanda and I, we evaluated,
Mhm. Yeah,
Mr. Al.
Mr. Al.
that's right.
You know, we just ask him questions, about what's going on in the year. That's
There's
it.
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's the way to do it.
All right, any more discussion on that? Next item, discuss St. Martin Magnet School, reach out.
I spoke to, him,
You spoke to who?
I spoke to Mr. Wills about the magnet school. Everybody in my community is very excited about the magnet school. The teachers are all on board. There still are some things that need to be done at the school, and he told me we were gonna do it in phases and stuff. But he said we're ready to open.
Yep.
Good deal.
I agree.
I have never been
I
to
was
magnet
happy
school, but
that-
I heard a lot of good things when I've been around St. Martin's area.
You need to come visit, board member.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go visit, I'm gonna go visit when they gonna have students.
No,
I'm gonna visit at the building. I'm gonna
You
go
need to
visit
come
at
now.
the building. I can't visit.
Every board member needs to come.
I'm gonna see how the administration and the students
That's
are doing.
important.
I don't wanna see how the building do.
No, it's not
The
the
building
building.
is irrelevant to me.
First, we see the building, it's magnificent. But you need to visit all of
Any
it.
more discussion on Magnet School? All right, motion to accept to go into executive session. Mr. Clay?
We don't need,
Do I have a
we
second?
don't need to. We don't need, we don't need.
We don't need to?
Oh, that's good. Thank
Okay, then, motion to adjourn.
you.
Motion. Stay there, second? Second. See, Mr. Steve. Meeting adjourned. Yeah, 8 o'clock.